Oops. Oh dear, goofy me. I just noticed an error that I made with this, so I might have to go back and correct it, but I don't know how. Today is Sunday, the 29th of December, and I've left it at the previous event that I had on screen, which would have been Thursday. Oh, oopsie. I'm Ros Boundy, bringing you Boomer Press, Book Nook. And I've also discovered through the day-to-day that what I've been doing is probably not quite right as far as the legalities of copyright. So what I was planning on doing tonight, I can't do, which I was going to read more from a book. And this was the book that I was going to read, The Great Animal Orchestra, because I do have an interest in sound therapy and that type of healing with vibrational energies and things like that. All of those types of, well, it's not just music, it is sound and waves and energies and light and all sorts of different things that I've done some studies in. But this one, I was going to read out, apparently, and I sort of knew, but I didn't realise and didn't think about it before. But anything that is copyright, unless you have permission from the publisher, the copyright owner, the author, you cannot legally read them in public, because on a copyright page, it does have it that you cannot reproduce in any form the words that are written without permission. I think in this one it is all rights reserved except as permitted under US Copyright Act. It would be the same in Australia. No part of this publication may be reproduced, distributed or transmitted in any form or by any means or stored in a database or retrieval system without the prior written permission of the publisher. Now, I hadn't done that. I've written, it did not click in my head that is a thing. Like, duh. I'm learning all the time, learning new things all the time. And when I found that out, well, I have gone back and deleted that particular episode from last Sunday because I don't want to have any types of infringements coming up that I've done. It was by accident. I hadn't even thought of it. So it's just one of those things. Good evening, Intuitive Diane. Hi, Diane. Lovely to see you here. I'm here as my Boomer Press business and the page that I've created in Facebook, that type of thing. Although I'm under the banner of 5 Foot Rope TV because I've had the opportunity to join that for a short time. I think with the fact that I'm not able to do what I was first intending, I may not continue with this at the moment until I, further forward. I've just got to contemplate and find out what I can do so that I can share, I can certainly share the sales pitch and all that sort of stuff of my Boomer Press website, but that's not what my intention is. I want to share the love of reading and then writing as, a community rather, and what way do we do that? Do you pose me questions and I can go and do some research around it, that type of thing. And here we go. Oh, I put yours up, didn't I? And you've got another comment there, Di, so it's well done. You look well. I feel well, thanks, Diane. It's been a while since I've been on YouTube specifically with the long psychic readings, or join any others actually, because I've been busy doing lessons myself and learning and it's other things. It's this time of year as well too, so it does get very busy. I'm just going to put my Boomer Press website here, boomerpress.online. It should go to the YouTube channel and the pages of which is the 5 Foot Rope. I haven't been able to add in my now I can't see where it's going to. This is being streamed to the 5 Foot Rope TV, my Ros Boundy profile, and the Ros Boundy YouTube channel. They're the only 3 places I've sent this to at the moment. So that shows up on the YouTube and the 5 Foot Rope TV. Certainly you can share that link around for people to have a look at the types of services that I am offering with the Boomer Press at the moment. I'm finishing off creating my first course within that realm, and part of it's the tricky bit of creating the community side, because what I don't want is to have everything as social media based. I've just noticed too many issues have cropped up with things happening that you don't intend, with groups and Facebook going down for a while, and the rules and the that they can close you down in an instant, and that's just not what I want. I am paying a subscription for what is the services I'm going to be using for a community-based group aspect in my Soul software. Actually, that's what I'm using. It has a bit of a learning curve, so at the moment I'm still just trying to tweak that and get the automations of email invites and stuff finished off, and it's taking longer than I thought. So hoping that will be ready by mid-January. So I'm getting into doing that rather than writing at the moment, and I so want to write. It's a wonderful outlet of just expressing self and then putting all of that together again that creates the story, isn't it? Now, this one here, what I liked about this and I haven't read it myself yet. I was going to read it through with you, but because I can't do that, I'll be reading it through myself. Orchestra, what we do with the words is almost creating our symphony, our sonnet, our whatever you want to call it, as far as our opus, the musical flow of the words that are going to be brought together for, well, is it for my own therapy first and then hopefully everybody likes reading? I don't know. Do you know, there's a mixture of reasons why people want to write. Or is it just because it's purely a way of creating different worlds for entertaining people? To be able to go out into what is the wilds of whatever imagination we have. Good evening, Nat. Lovely to see you here. I love your dog. We've just finished watching one of those animal shows on TV, the dogs that get rescued. Really rather cute. So where did I get to? Within our own imaginations, we can create whatever worlds we want to, whatever genres we want to, if we're moving towards doing fiction writing. It makes it so versatile in the possibilities of what we can do. And as I'm moving through some of my own studies, because I didn't do uni or anything like that, I'm exploring the how do you write specific genres even, because I don't know, I haven't read from every genre there is available. I'd be here until way past my retirement, probably even past my funeral. Who knows? There's so much to read, so many exciting things that we can do with words. And you just rescued a poodle last month. Oh, that's wonderful, because I'm still looking after my granddaughter's party poodle. So Oreo's quite a bit smaller than your regular size poodle. And he's so gorgeous. I know I've got to hand him back at some point in time when Nadi can find a place that'll take pets. At the moment, she can't. So, it's what it is. It's lovely. It's a lovely feeling to have a rescue dog too, because Peanuts, my previous dog, my little partner in life, she was such a cutie. She was a rescue as well. So, the Maltese cross. Got a photo somewhere. Oh, that's out in the other room, lounge room. But anyway, so I'm especially as well intrigued by the different stories that people can create. Following our life. The memoir. I have a goal to do a memoir, and probably one that is more as well of my dad's and mum's life. one of my own, I suppose, not so much in the factual fiction sort of thing. I'm still not quite sure how I'll structure it, but it does mean reading some other people's memoir just to get a feel for how we can create those words into sentences, into chapters, to make it really good and easy to read. Because I think really we do have to have some sense of the craft of writing for the reader to be at ease with how they're reading as well. Being entertained, yes, but informed and growing what understanding we have of people's lives. It's a great way to move through with memoir, autobiographies, biographies, whatever, about people's stories. But I do like a good fiction too. So I just like reading. And you're saying, good for you in helping out. I think, honestly, I think when we have our little fur babies, we're the ones who are really lucky to have them. So I thoroughly enjoy having, the dogs around. Cats, not quite as much. I've had cats over the years, but not recently. When the kids were small, we had one called Jasper. That was a lovely cat. She was an inside-outside cat, had her own cat door at the time, and then we got dogs. And it was more interesting, yes it was, with the dogs. We had little fox terriers, so they were gorgeous little creatures too. And then I stole my son's Pomeranian. I told him, you're not going to have it locked up in the laundry all the time, I'll look after it. So I had her for a little while. There have been many instances where we've had the fur babies in our lives. It could be that it might be something that we developed that, I could write about as a story one day. The different friends I've had as far as those cute little personalities that were the dogs. Anyway, because I haven't got anything really sorted out and organised for tonight, I was going to leave it as just a short look. This is where it's at as far as what my plans were. I can't continue forward with what I was expecting to do. I can, though, I think, as far as I don't know yet what this particular book's going to be like, The Great Animal Orchestra, but I can do reviews on some books to help. One of the things that I presume, I haven't looked into it, but I'm assuming you can do reviews of books that you have actually purchased and read. Now, I haven't purchased this. This one was a gift, a Christmas gift or a birthday gift, Christmas gift, this one. So it's Leanne Moriarty's Here One Moment. Now, she is a author of quite a few books. I think in the back of this one it does mention 9 other books that she's written. It would seem, yes, she's a New York Times bestseller. I'm trying to find where hang on. I'll just read it from the front. I'm quite sure I can read the bio that is there. And Leanne, I presume it's also the way it's pronounced, Leanne. Leanne Moriarty is the Australian author of 9. Yes, I thought I'd read the 9 somewhere. 9 internationally best-selling novels, including the #1 New York Times bestsellers, The Husband's Secret, Big Little Lies, Truly Madly Guilty, and Apples Never Fall. So there's some more that are listed there as well. So, and she lives in Sydney apparently. So from this, I picked it up and sort of thought, yeah, it's a fat book, isn't it? It's a nice big one. It's reasonably heavy to read when you're trying to read it at night in bed too. But at least it actually has got reasonable sized print. So it wasn't too bad. But what I really liked, once I started reading it, I thought, oh wow, I am enjoying this. It's got really good pacing. And so I have finished it. It only took me the 2 days to finish reading this one. And the flow it has is really interesting for me because of the spacing. I mean, sometimes you look at how many chapters there are in the book and you sort of get a bit overwhelmed by it. And I sort of, wow. And I'll just let you know, look, there is 126 chapters, but some of them are really short. And I found the way that this is written has really made it so easy to read and get the gist of the story. And, you know, it is about death and it is about psychic senses, which attracted me to continuing on reading it, but it wasn't hard to do. It's actually a very good book. So I'll show you the cover of that one again. You may want to read it as well. I've got a copy here. So I think apparently I can, review books that I've read. So there's the first one that I've moved through since discovering I can't really read out loud any old book without getting permission from publishers first. So as much as I'd love to do that, I'm probably either going to have to write my own and read them out loud or, don't know. We'll go on a bit of a discovery of that once I've thought about it. So I am going to give these live streams just a bit of a break for a little while until I figure out what format, what way it really needs to be done so that it's serving you as listeners, as people watching, as to what would you like to see. I do have some friends that have written their books and I've asked them. I haven't organised it yet is the thing, so it was going to be what I was doing as part of the New Year stuff, but I still haven't got around to that because I've got so much of other things to do. But I will have some friends that I'm hoping are quite happy to come on screen with me and talk about their own books and the process of writing what they felt as they've been moving through writing their books and, well, doing the bits and pieces that are involved with whether it's their non-fiction or their fiction. We'll see how that progresses. I'm always happy to try things out and I'm not frightened of making a goofball of myself, doesn't matter. We learn all the time as we move through life, so why not do that together? And one of the quickest and easiest ways I've found actually is by doing live streams and sharing with you is that, that one-to-one connection that we can do via a video stream. So I find it interesting and fun at times. At times, most of the time. I really love doing this. But you do still need to have some parts of it planned and structured, which, for tonight, I actually haven't got that organised. It's been Christmas. So, yeah, we'll see about the next one that I do. Look, scheduled to do another one tomorrow night, afternoon. So the Mondays and Thursdays that I've had previously, November and December, they're at 5:30 Adelaide time. This Sunday night one, because it's a bit after you'd had your dinner and ready to relax and all the rest and possibly join in for the live stream, that's at 7:30 Adelaide time. So for me it suits quite well. Hopefully it does for you. I'll still keep that timing at the moment. If it works out differently or you've got other suggestions for different times that you like to sit down and enjoy listening or watching someone do lighter educational entertainment type shows like the writing and the reading and reviews about books, that type of thing, because of course being Boomer Press Book Nook, it is going to be book based and writing. So I'd love any suggestions. If that's what you'd like to pass on to me, I'd be very appreciative of that. And whatever else that you might like to see as topics. I think, although I haven't got it sorted, I'll do a form if you'd even like to fill out a survey form as well. I'll put that in one of the links when I get that organised as well. And of course that will be in Soul Software because that's what I do use. And fleshing that out as I grow to learn every nuance of that suite of programs, you'll be seeing a bit more of those things roll out as well. So hopefully in good timing. Sometimes we can be super organised, other times it just seems to go to chaos, doesn't it? which is why I'm concentrating on the one aspect for doing all of my business type work. It is going to be sole software based. I'm not going to put a heavy emphasis on Facebook. The YouTube even does have community area somewhere. I don't know if I've got the numbers yet to meet that, because with a lot of those they require minimum subscribers or numbers or followers and that. So now, Nat, you used to read at night in bed, but when I fell asleep I'd smack the book on my head. Yes. Yeah, and I mean to say, when you look at one that is this big and heavy, it gets a bit like that, doesn't it? Look, I think that's why most of the books that I read now, they are actually on an iPad. I've tended to read more of the ebook format, purely because of that reason. I can at least prop it up with a little pillow at my chest, tummy level, to read that way, and if it falls off, it just falls forward or sideways, and it doesn't get on my head. So, yeah, we all have different ways that we like to read, and even these days, more especially, there is the audio book option too. Has anyone here got into reading audiobooks? See, I don't consider it reading, we're listening to it. So I started getting very interested with a series that a good friend of mine, she listens to audiobooks all the time, and she said, this one's really good, you should try it. So it was the first one that I tried as an audiobook, and I thought, I can't get into this. But once I'd persisted past that first chapter, and I didn't have it going while I was doing something else, which meant it was at bed. I would turn it on and I'd fall asleep with it going. But what I would do, I'd write down the chapter that I started that at, and with Audible you can set a timer. 30 minutes, 15, 30, 45. I think there's a selection of times there, and I started it at 1 hour and then quickly realised I was falling asleep at the 10-minute mark probably. So I cut it back to 15 to 30 minutes. I'd write the chapter down, and if I felt I had missed too much, you go back and start from where you think you left off the night before. It worked out very well. So that was where I have started to listen to Audible books. Don't know if I'd do that all the time. Because it does take a fair time of rewinds to catch up on the whole lot. But it works, it does work. And sometimes you just want to relax and watch the view and have a book going in your ear, perfect. And you can concentrate. It's a good idea, audio books, but I may never go to sleep. Well, I found I did go to sleep. I enjoyed having that sound going in the background. I did used to have one of those. I don't have electronics in my room. It's been one of my policies for many years. Once the last, the clock radio thing that you'd have on your bedside cabinet with the alarm and the radio going as you went to sleep, that type of thing. That's how I'd always gone to sleep. When I was with my husband at the time, that's how we just did. You woke up to that alarm, you went to sleep to it, and the radio was going. Or a CD. I can't remember if I went to sleep with CDs. And gee, that ages me, doesn't it? Anyway, just lately, it has been in the last year where I've been using the iPad just to read at night, because I was starting to miss reading the books. So that's how I was doing it. I decided to read. And then when I was introduced to the audio book, well, you had to have that in the bedroom. I couldn't just... it wasn't for me to do the set-aside time, because I'm here in my office most of the time doing other things. I can't always multitask. It's a fallacy for me. Couldn't do it. So, yep. Now, I'm going to leave it there for tonight. Thank you for joining me. Do know that I am working on getting this back to something that I can share on a regular basis, the 2 to 3 times a week. I still would like to do the 2 half hours in the hour, but how often do you want to sit and watch? Do you sit and watch someone on your, is it more the phone? Is it more an iPad, or is it your computer? I'm doing this through my desktop computer because it does have more control, and I can see everything that's in that type of screen rather than this type of screen. You're looking at a phone. I can't do that. So what are your preferred ways? I'd like to cater for what you'd actually want to be listening to or watching. I'm hoping to make it more interesting with the watching and sharing screens with a bit more instructional stuff. But you can't do everything in that format as freebies. Just doesn't work that way. So there will be a few things that are going to be only for the course or the courses. Once I've got all of them written up, I'm planning on doing 3. So, okay. So thank you for joining me. I'll be here again tomorrow afternoon at 5:30 at this point in time. And I'll let you know if it's going to change and be any different to what it currently is, because I still actually haven't finalised and worked out the structure. What I've been doing, it's been a good experiment, but unfortunately found out I can't do it that way. I have to form some other way of sharing how I want to with the info that I'd love to share. We'll see you tomorrow. And if there's any other stuff that you'd like to let me know as far as your preferences, certainly direct message me. My email is, I probably shouldn't put that on the public video. You'll find it on my Ros Boundy Facebook page, or like to do the messenger. There is probably the quickest and easiest for most. I do have an email that you will find on that burmapress.online website. You'll find a contact form as well, so you can definitely connect with me that way. I certainly get those through to my software, and I do try to respond within the same day. Sometimes it doesn't work that way, but it will be as soon as possible. Okay, so I'm certainly open to suggestions and ideas. And I do want to help you to find your way of writing and different ways for your reading, different genres if you haven't experienced any. We'll see what we can do with all of that. See you then. Tomorrow at 5:30 Adelaide time. Same places. Okay? Bye for now.